Thank you so much, Alice, for joining me today. Happy to have you.
Thanks for having me, Maria. I'm very excited.
Of course. I thought I would just start off pretty simple, jumping right into your background. What inspired you to pursue a career in construction tech?
Well, I have to confess, it wasn't my first choice. I primarily wanted to move from Belgium to Canada in 2013. I spent 2 years
Mhm,
in Belgium working at a bank. And yes, Belgium wasn't a big enough country, I suppose. So I was fortunate to find a marketing manager position at Warmup. Warmup is
mhm.
a British manufacturer of heating cable and smart thermostats, and also de-icing cable for the roof, snow melting cables for the driveway, that kind of thing.
Cool.
And the role was exciting. They were open to hiring an entry level person, and yeah, I felt super lucky. Got the job, moved to Canada, and you know what? I don't even think the word or the expression construction tech existed back in 2013.
Oh, yeah, I guess not. Hey, it's come a long way in such a short time.
I think so. I mean,
Mhm.
double check my facts, but I think it's pretty new.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. And so from there, like you're not currently in Canada. I am, but what happened from there?
What happened from there? Oh, so much. I spent 7 years at Warmup at that company, and then I got the opportunity to start at Curry, and it's been a huge leap of faith for me because I literally went from a super traditional manufacturing industry to a startup from California, two co-founders wearing tilted hats and puff jackets, and I think it's the best decision I made and a great opportunity for me for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so awesome. And you've been with Curry for how long now, Alice?
I would say 4.5 years.
Mm, long time. That's so cool.
Yes, honestly, for a startup, it's a long time.
Yeah.
The team was already a year and a half, 2 years in when I joined. I was the
Mhm.
first marketing B2B hire at the
Okay.
company, and it's been really a ride since then. It's been very fun.
Yeah. Interesting. That's so cool. How do you find that, like, working in the construction space, like from other jobs you've had, finance or banking or whichever it was, what do you find that sticks out most about the industry to you?
Can you repeat that? Can you rephrase that?
Yeah, you find that construction is, like, sometimes we hear that it's very down to earth, it's people on the ground, it's very community vibes. Do you have, like, an opinion on how the industry has treated you? How's that been? How's the vibe?
Yes, yes. Okay, got it. I would say I would say one expression I learned a few months ago, and I love this expression, and I keep using it. It's a belly to industry. I feel like you can see, the bellies and the guys
Yeah, yeah.
high fiving each other. For me, the construction industry is all about who you know, who you've met,
Mhm, mhm,
reputation, and and that's why at Curry and even at Warm Up we attended tons of events, national events,
mhm.
buying group events, association events, because it's really
Yeah.
a network. I don't know really how it is in other industries, but I know in our industry it's really about the network and trust and the reputation you've built. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I would say.
I love that. Yeah, that's very, true to what we've been hearing from interviewing people all the time, so that's super awesome. Speaking of Curry, getting into the company a bit, what is Curry's mission?
That's an easy question. Um, I'm laughing because it's sort of a mantra at Kerry. We get a reminder from our CEO every week of what our mission is.
Okay.
So Kerry's mission is to be the way the world delivers construction and industrial supplies.
It's very mic drop-ish, but it's true, and you guys are
Mhm.
doing a great job at it. And, what is your role in particular, and what does your day-to-day look like?
I'm the director of marketing at Kerry. So about Kerry, think Uber, but for the delivery of construction and industrial supplies. My role at Curry is helping Curry achieve the mission of being the way the world delivers construction and industrial supplies. And
Mhm.
day to day, that means contributing to our business objectives, which are mostly acquiring new customers and ensuring they keep choosing Curry.
Yeah. Okay, great. I love that. Can you share a success story you've had so far in your career that stands out for you?
Yes, well, when I started at Curry, we were maybe 30 employees, and now we have over 150 employees. We
Wow.
we've grown exponentially, and as the first B2B marketing hire at Curry, I've seen a, I've seen a, I mean, I've contributed to building the marketing team from scratch, pieces
Mhm.
of collateral, trade show material,
Yeah.
and we went from, and sometimes I feel like, looking at pictures of me in middle school where, you look like a teenager, you have the braces on, and
Yeah.
personally I had a very poor look. And so now I look at what I was doing 4.5 years ago and presenting the CEO and CTO, and I was like, oh, how did I dare presenting this? But I feel like I've grown a lot. And just this week, we actually released our first billboard in Denver. So it's fun to see,
Yay.
oh, we went from this to that in four and a
Mhm.
half years. So for me, yeah, an achievement would be just how the company grew in the past few years and
Yeah.
what what we were doing 4.5 years ago in terms of marketing and what we do now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, behind the scenes, I knew about the billboard, but I forgot how much of a milestone I guess that is. Hey, that's so cool. And so I understand it's like the Uber of construction delivery, like it's that easy, it's that simple, it's great. Aside from ease of use, why would a construction supply a distributor come to Curry over like a conventional courier?
Good question. We do things differently at Curry. So the two ways our customers could go are owning their own fleet of vehicles
Mhm.
or using a local courier.
Mhm.
Owning their own fleet is super expensive because they need to
Yeah,
pay a driver, own vehicles, renew insurances, pay for gas, maintenance, tolls, and then you also need to have a fleet wide enough that you have the right vehicle size. You don't want
right.
to deliver 1 gallon of paint in a semi truck.
Yeah.
And the local couriers, they're great in their own way, but they're not always as modern as Curry. We offer proof of delivery pictures, live tracking of the driver. You can even see how heavy the traffic is in an area to see if your delivery is going to be late or not. We offer tons of features to build trust, build between the distributor and their customer. And this is something that we do differently from existing solutions.
We find a lot that construction workers and people in the industry in general have kind of a hard time with adopting tech and with change. Do you find that a lot from people who come to Curry, or do you find that as a sticking point?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good point. I was thinking the other day how this industry has changed so much since COVID. I know a lot of things changed, and it's a bit cliche sometimes to say that, but really, when I started my career at Warmup,
Mhm,
we
mhm,
some of our customers barely had email addresses. You could only fax them, or some of them wouldn't even have credit card payments. And so it was really an industry, a super laggard industry that would not adopt new technologies fast. And then COVID
yeah,
happened, and everybody
yeah,
had to modernize, start
mm,
doing e-commerce, um,
mm,
find ways to survive. And
mhm,
I feel like this has really improved our field, our industry as a whole. And nowadays also I see a shift. I've
mhm,
noticed recently by conducting customer interviews, I've
mhm,
noticed that there's a new generation also joining the
mm.
workforce in our field. And these guys, they know more about user experience, user interface. Sometimes they even recommend us new features. They're more involved and they want to adopt new technologies in their day-to-day work. So yes, I've definitely seen a shift in the past few years.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Hadn't even thought of like COVID being a driving force in digitization across these companies. That's so fast. I guess everybody kind of had to get a little more digital friendly in that era. Oh, what would you say, like, are some of the biggest challenges Curry faces or that you faced in your work?
I think
No worries.
I would say scaling in my position, I would say scaling marketing efforts. We've grown
Mm,
exponentially, and our marketing team has to adapt to higher standards,
mm,
additional needs, and new challenges. For example, the customers we had 4.5 years ago versus the customers we got to acquire recently, there is the same in terms of ICP, but their size is different. So we have to adapt as a team, and it's
mhm.
super exciting for us. And we really moved from what we were 4.5 years ago to speaking with enterprise or whales customers, we call them.
Right. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I imagine that's quite the challenge. Are there specific like tools or techniques or things that you or the team does to kind of like stay grounded?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, to stay grounded, personally, I love speaking with our customers on a super regular basis so that I stay grounded. I don't, I use their vocabulary. I understand their problematics. It's crucial, I think, for a marketeer to speak with customers as often as possible. So
Mhm,
I love to attend events. I love to
mhm,
conduct interviews with my customers over Zoom. And sometimes I write case studies, sometimes I don't. It's not the main goal is not always to write customers
mm,
to stay grounded with what they actually need and what is their reality really looking like. So yeah, to stay grounded, mostly speak with the customer.
mm. I was just gonna say, I think that that's super interesting because a lot of people from the outside don't think about marketing as like a customer facing role per se. And feedback loops are great, but to kind of get that firsthand experience speaking with the customers, speaking with your ICP, I think goes a long way in terms of marketing efforts.
Well, we are supposed as a team of marketeers,
Mhm.
to be the ones who understand our customers better. Who else? I
Yeah.
mean, obviously the sales team, um,
Yes.
but we are supposed to have a holistic vision of. And by the way, at Curry, not only do we work with customers, but we also have all the side of the drivers. Since we're,
Right.
think Uber, they have us, the people who use Uber and book a trip, and then they have
Mhm.
all the drivers, and those are
Mhm.
equally as important as the customers. And so in our marketing team, we work for both the drivers and the bookers, and yeah,
Mhm.
it's just it gives us the ability to really have a holistic view of how the company works. And
Can you share a success story about the company or yourself and why the work matters?
yes. Well, as part of my job, I regularly conduct interviews with customers and drivers.
Mhm.
And as you know now, or as you understand, Curry is a two-sided marketplace where we have the drivers on one side and the bookers on the other. And I
Yeah.
love listening to both perspectives. It's extremely enriching from a
Mhm.
personal and professional point of view. And
Mhm.
what I love is hearing customer stories because they often include phrases like, "You saved my butt the other day." And I love that Curry is a trusted partner for thousands of companies nationwide. And
Mhm.
on the driver's side, we regularly receive emails and messages from different
Mm.
channels from
Yeah.
drivers thanking us for allowing them to pay their bills while being their own
Yeah.
boss. And these testimonials make our day. We print some of them
Yeah.
and we frame them in the office. Our company, I promise, our company is it's superhuman, and it's one of the core values at Curry, really. And as
Yeah.
humans, it warms our heart to see that we what we do is meaningful beyond a
Mhm.
purely capitalistic perspective. It actually helps, obviously, customers on one end, but also people to it helps people live every day. So I would say that's a success story for us.
Yeah, absolutely. At like anywhere, especially as things become so much more tech heavy, any of those kind of moments where we can fit the humanity or like the human connection parts in really make the difference. I was doing some research actually on your customer stories, and I kept seeing repeatedly a customer saying over and over that they trust Curry drivers more than other couriers to be as an extension of their team almost. Like they trust the reliability, they trust the punctuality and professionalism enough that they feel like Curry can represent them well, regardless of what their or who their team is comprised of. So, yeah.
That's why we value drivers so much and why we're so
Mhm.
picky with who we onboard, because we
Yeah.
need the utmost professionalism from drivers
Right.
to build that trust with our customers.
Yeah,
It's
I
a chain
love
of
that.
trust.
Yeah, that's perfect. Speaking about, being tech heavy though, what are some of the tools and technology that Curry uses to make the app so great?
We don't use any technology, no AI. No, I'm kidding. We actively use AI, ChatGPT, Claude. We use so many tools in Slack, or after meetings, we get summaries with action items. I'm also part, I mean, that's for tools. And then
Mhm.
as a marketer, I'm also part of a community of B2B marketeers called Exit 5. I know it's a strange name, but there's a whole story of why this community is called this way. It's a great community of professionals where we discuss and exchange ideas on marketing B2B topics, so super specific. And there's even a meetup actually happening next month in Denver. Super excited about this. And yeah,
Cool.
I've learned a lot from this community. Sometimes I have ideas or doubts about should we use this software for ABM? And I ask their opinion to other pros, and they share their opinion with me, and we exchange on the topic. So super enriching, really. And then our company is extremely data driven, and I couldn't imagine my role without a revenue operations team. And
Mhm.
we use business intelligence tools such as Metabase, for example. And those tools and those reports really guide all of the decisions we make. And yeah, nowadays, really, all the tools available, all the BI tools available, make my life as a marketing pro so much easier to make decisions
Yeah.
and to
Oh, I
make
love
the
that.
right decisions.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's one thing to use a tool and there's as out of habit or process, and there's another to use it to actually help you make decisions and strategies. Um, in terms of, like, features of the app, what would you say is the most impactful feature that, like, people keep saying again and again?
Hmm. Without a doubt, I would say live tracking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What would you have said? You've listened to all the customer testimonials.
Yeah, live tracking probably, and, proof of delivery too, but
Mm.
I like, it's funny, I thought that as a before learning about the company, I thought that that was a standard that everybody does, but to feel people like, see people feel so refreshed that you offer it. I was like,
Yes,
"Well, of
no,
course."
not
Like,
everybody, not
oh,
every company offers it. On the contrary,
wow.
um, one of the favorite features from our customers are definitely live tracking, because they can see where the driver's at, and proof of delivery photos and signature. Also, we work with job sites, and sometimes those job sites don't even have an address yet. So the
Mm,
package is dropped somewhere precise, but then maybe the construction site is super big, and then there's a doubt regarding where it was left, and so the proof of delivery photos change everything.
yeah, okay, interesting, that's fair. What kinds of deliveries does Curry offer?
We offer hotshots
Mhm,
and dedicated route services. So a hotshot is basically a delivery from point A to point B. And
mhm,
then a hotshot can be a rush delivery, end of day delivery, and then a scheduled delivery.
okay.
And then we have dedicated routes where we allow distributors to use a truck and a driver for a certain amount of time. It could be,
Mhm,
2 days a week for a quarter, or, every Thursday for 6 months. So these are dedicated routes. And then we also offer a route planner tool that allows
mhm.
companies to in one in one platform see all of their delivery trucks, where all of their delivery trucks are.
Mhm. Interesting. And for the route planner particularly, just a side note question, like, what would that look like if a distributor didn't have Curry? Would it be like a pretty pen and paper process?
Pen and paper, and also they would probably have multiple screens with all of their carriers they're using, and they wouldn't necessarily have live tracking. And
Right.
additionally, we allow customers to optimize their route by drag
Mhm.
and dropping addresses, and then our
Oh,
system
cool.
optimizes the route with different criteria. So we like to say we provide customers with a single pane of glass, and they have
Mm.
in one place they can see all of their deliveries happening.
Well, that's so nice. That sounds 100 times handier already, and that's not even something I do. But I'm already, like, relieved by it. Would you say that, hot shots are probably the most, like, commonly used route type, or does it all depend on the area?
Um, yeah, hotshots are definitely super popular. Last mile delivery is something that every distributor needs on a daily basis. So
Right.
for sure, hotshots, we do thousands of hotshots every day and millions per year. Um,
That's so cool. Yeah, and in my research as well, it seems like that's also a service that's harder to come by from traditional couriers. Is that right?
what do you mean? Sorry.
Like, do you think, like, looking at some of the customer stories, I think that, it seems apparent that hotshot service is something that's not commonly offered with traditional couriers. Is that right? Or
Um, well, you need to have. It depends on the courier, but I suppose you need to have a wide fleet of vehicle available at any time and anywhere,
true.
which we have.
Yeah.
We've built this over the years, and now we can find a truck in South Dakota in under 30 minutes,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
anywhere in the U.S. really. So yes, we have the capability and network to be able to offer
Mhm.
an agile solution to distributors.
Right. That's so cool. What's something in the AEC industry that people aren't talking about but should be?
I love that question. Mm, it's well, it's super biased, but I would say sustainability in the construction industry. I'm
Mm.
very interested in this topic. I
Mhm.
follow a lot of companies on LinkedIn who, you know, help with waste management. I'm
Yeah.
very interested in this topic. I
Mhm.
recently discovered a company in the UK called
Mm.
Scrap, and it's a B2B marketplace that matches, if I understand correctly, job sites and construction waste management companies to make
Okay.
sure that the construction site scraps really are being reused or recycled
Mhm.
or disposed of properly. So I think it's going back to Curry. It's the way we try to be more sustainable is to match our distributors with the smallest vehicle they need. For example, if they're delivering 10 gallons of paint, they don't need a sprinter van necessarily. Maybe a car will do. And so that's at our scale. What we try to do is help them, and we use AI.
Mhm. Wow, that's so cool. And totally right. We have a vertical at Under the Hard Hat about sustainability, and it's interesting to see those approaches with, recycled materials being 3D printed into houses, or green spaces being implemented into new construction projects, or
Exactly.
even fitting these autonomous bulldozers with, like, the tech to drive themselves and have them be electric vehicles. That's a thing too, I didn't even think about something as simple as just, like, matching with, like, the most sustainable choice of vehicle for the job as making a difference, but it makes a huge difference, especially at scale. That's so cool. Yeah. Is sustainability talked about at Curry too? Well, it must
Yes.
be, I guess. Hey, if that's the yeah.
Yes, of course. We
Yeah.
discuss about it. We discuss about electrical vehicles. This is all on our
Yeah.
radar. We fairly recently started offering LTL and FTL capabilities. And is less than truckload, and so it allows multiple companies to put their parcels, for example, in all their pallets in one
Mhm.
truck, and then it's better than maybe having 20 different vehicles doing 20 different deliveries.
Yeah, I love that. And were you guys yeah, it's a more recent launch and you were seeing a lot of demand for it, I assume?
Yes, yes, it's growing for sure. It's sort of newer for us, newer than Hotshot's dedicated routes. But yeah, the LTL is definitely growing.
That's so cool. Where do you see, sorry, Curry or the construction industry headed in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, there's definitely a growing number of startups in that field. And
Mhm,
I'm French, as you probably can hear. And I was invited last year in June to
mhm,
the first Contech event in France, because in France we're always a little bit late compared to the US. Don't say that to my compatriots. But they just launched sort of a movement or a group focused on contact, and
mhm,
so this movement is led by top startup investors such as brick and mortar ventures.
mhm,
And yeah, I think it's a sign that because construction will always be needed, it will always be exist by definition. It's
right.
definitely an industry that's here to stay and will continue to evolve and modernize quickly. So I think right now in 2025, mark my words, I think it's just the beginning of Comtech, and it's definitely an industry that's going to explode and grow more and more in the next 10 years, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. And so all the more reason why I think that it's so cool that you guys have such like a people forward, customer facing, care about the people on the ground kind of approach to things. Which leads me also into my next question. I wanted to talk a little bit about the ambassador program. How does Curry's ambassador program work?
Oh, so we have this ambassador program where Curry customers can
Hmm.
refer peers in the industry and tell them, hey, I've been using Curry for a few years. It saved my butt multiple times. You should give it a try.
Hmm.
And so we reward the Curry ambassador with free credit on their account, and then we also reward the new Curry customer with free credit on their account, and it
Hmm.
works super well. We got tons of new customers, new logos thanks to this program, and we even have drivers. Our drivers usually are very happy with Carrie. I've seen on social media, on Facebook groups and all, they usually refer to curry as the cherry on the cake, meaning they can't only do curry deliveries all day yet.
Hmm.
We're working on
Right.
that. But
Hmm.
whenever they get a curry delivery, they get super excited because the pay is much better compared to
Yeah.
other delivery services.
Hmm.
Logical, because delivering a pad thai, that it does not have the same value as delivering um, a cargo of sewer pipes, for example. So
Right.
all of this to say, where was I going?
Curry, yeah, curry
Ambassador
drivers.
program. All of this
Yes.
to say that we have curry drivers who drive with the curry app, always willing to refer new customers, because these drivers also are consumers and can also see a need in their day-to-day life. And so we have the same program, but for drivers who want to refer new customers to us. And
Hmm.
it works great as well. Everybody
That's
gets
so cool.
rewarded. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I love that. I see a lot too that people really appreciate that you offer like a nationwide fleet. So couriers can cross state lines if they need to, long distance is no problem. Do you see a lot of like use cases where people come to Curry specifically because you offer such a wide delivery radius?
For sure. Yes. Yes. All the time. Our fleet, our nationwide fleet, allows us to deliver, like you said, across states. And imagine a distributor, even if they have their own fleet, even if they have a couple trucks, parked on the driveway and waiting for the warehouse to fill them in.
Hmm.
They can't always they have deliveries to make on time for certain customers, because it's crucial in our industry to be on time. Otherwise, you have idle workers and everybody, it's wasting everybody's time. So these distributors have deliveries to make, and sometimes there's an outsider customer or job site that For example, here in Colorado, we have the mountain area, and it takes
Mm,
4 hours to get to Steamboat Springs one way. So it could literally be monopolizing one truck for an entire day for a single delivery. So
right.
allowing our customers to book we call this the elastic fleet concept, where they
Mm,
can just use our fleet whenever they need and then not use us when they don't need us, but we allow them to increase their delivery radius for sure.
right. That's so awesome. So, like, of course, Curry users come to Curry for the speed and the convenience and reliability, professionalism. But I've also seen stories of customers saying that Curry has helped them win sales and like win more clientele. Like, what's an example of how can people use Curry to win sales?
Our customers are contractors, and they
Hmm.
have their own deadline to follow. And sometimes a tool breaks, or they're missing a part, or something broke on the job site. So until they get that part delivered,
Hmm.
they can do other things, obviously. But sometimes they would just stay idle until they get the new part because it's preventing them from moving forward. Or
Hmm.
we had this example. I had this discussion with a customer the other day, and they are an electrical parts distributor, and they were just telling us how their customer was so happy because their customer had it was a plant of some sort, and one of the parts at the plant broke, and then an entire line of work was down, and so the workers sat in the parking lot for hours until the part was delivered. And so the plant was super happy that their distributor was able to deliver the part within a couple of hours and not wait for multiple days. So yeah, I would
That's
say Curry allows distributors to increase their sales for sure, and we have multiple examples of.
Mhm. That's so cool. Yeah, so it's winning over sales and it's also retaining their clients or
Mhm.
contractors too because they're building those strong relationships by being so
Yes.
reliable. That's awesome.
And nowadays, everybody expects, with Amazon, everybody expects same day delivery. That Amazon put the
Yeah.
standards so high. So
Mhm.
nowadays, if someone has to wait one day or 2 days, forget about it. They're going to go to another distributor who has the part in stock and can deliver it same day. So
Mhm.
I feel like it's a requirement. It's a must have now for distributors to be able to offer same day. No question.
Yeah, exactly. So my next question is when are the Curry drones coming
Uh,
out?
it's funny you mentioned that because we keep all of us keep sharing the drone delivery examples on site. But I don't think it's happening for us yet, simply because of the weight. Like, in all seriousness, we've considered
Yeah.
it, but
Wow.
the weight of what drones can carry is just too low. It
Mhm.
doesn't work for our industry. Maybe for an industry that delivers flowers or
Yeah.
pharmaceutical products or prescriptions or food, but I really don't think it's happening for construction materials. I'd be
Yeah,
worried,
that's
actually.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess you could carry like a wrench or like something like
Yes,
super
if
teeny.
even.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Is there something that you know now or that you kind of live by now that you wish you would have known at the start of your career?
um, I think I got super lucky because as soon as I started my career, I found a mentor, and this person hired me at my first job, and then was my boss for 7 years, and then
Mhm,
now he's a business partner and a friend. So I think finding a mentor, someone who pushes you to improve and be a better professional is essential. And also, I would say keep learning, because
mhm.
marketing is a field that constantly evolves. What I was
Yeah.
doing 10 years ago has nothing to do with what we do now. I remember over 10 years ago, it was the next super shiny toy was to be able to write the first name um, of recipients when you were sending a mass email. It was
Oh my
so
goodness.
modern to be able to say, "Hi, Maria."
Yeah.
And obviously, things have changed so much in the past decade. I used to use Google Analytics, InDesign, Photoshop, Mailchimp. All of these were my go-to tools. And now I
Yeah.
use none of those. I use, Looker Studio, Canva, HubSpot. I use AI every day. And I also feel like we're allowed to have a much more data-driven approach than we were maybe 15 years ago. So yeah, something I wish I had known. Keep learning, and find a mentor.
Yeah, I love that. Well, it sounds like, past Alice was open to that anyway. Thankfully, right? So that's
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
would be obsolete otherwise.
Do you have, like, a personal motto or philosophy that you live by?
I would just say that finding meaning in my work is what keeps me happy, and I am so grateful that I work for a company in the construction technology field because it's a great mix of a traditional world of construction and
Mhm,
heavy touch of modernization and new technologies. I
mhm.
really love the combination of both.
Yeah.
And I would add that that company I work for is very human,
Mhm.
literally human first, and I love that, and that's something I will keep with me forever for the rest of my
Yeah.
career, to keep human at the
Mhm,
center and actually, um, you know, doing what you mean. So
mhm.
yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking to, like, so many other people in AEC, like, doing these interviews, I hear it time and time again we're so on the brink of new technology every single day, it feels like, but that means being more human is
Mm,
even more honed in now than ever, so that's so cool. I'm with you.
absolutely.
And where can people connect with you or learn more about Curry?
Sure. Everybody can find me on LinkedIn. Just type my name. Curry.com is our website if you want to learn more. And yeah, stay tuned. We have lots of big announcements that we're going to make in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. We hire as well. We have tons of job opening. So yeah,
Great, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alice. Love learning about your background and all about Curry.
thank you very much for having me, Maria.
Of course, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.